Coming up on Community Insider, Warren First 931 host Kelly Walker Slaughter goes behind the scenes of a 35-year adventure of preserving and featuring history at the beautiful Falcon Rest Mansion.
Faulkner's going to come in, greet everyone, take everybody in the main room. The show will start, the food will be served during the show, and after everybody's eaten, and after we find out who the murderer is, and after we take care of that little matter, then you're going to tour this 10,000 square foot Victorian mansion. TBS called Tennessee's Biltmore because it had all the systems the Biltmore Spain had in the late 1800s.
The McLaughlins will let us know the secret medicine to keep this couple young. That and much more on this edition of Community Insider.
And we're still actively involved. We can't do everything, but we can do a lot. Yeah, sure can.
It's your medicine. I hope you can do a lot.
Yeah. It's so much easier now because when we started, there was no such thing as the internet.
No, I was going to say, you didn't Google that, did you?
No, YouTube. Yeah. That would have been
Today
nice.
it's a lot easier than what it was when we were doing it, actually.
Right, yeah.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Hey guys, Kelly here with Warren First 931, and thanks again to Jonathan and the gang with Community TVTN with partnering up with me once again, touring the fabulous places in Warren County and beyond. I am at with these lovely people, Miss Charlene and George. How are you today?
Great, thank you.
And right off the bat, before I ask you the important stuff, everybody, we said this off air, you know, Falcon Manor, Falcon Rest. Explain the debacle.
All right. When we bought the mansion,
Yes, ma'am.
or he bought it, didn't have a plan for it.
Yeah.
But we went down the road to see Miss Edith Bryan, who had been George's Latin teacher in high school at Falconhurst. She said the Faulkners always named their places Falcon something.
Yeah.
So we said, Falcon Manor sounds good. What we didn't realize is once we got started with that, then we met the family. They told us the original name was Falcon Rest.
Wow.
So, and over 20 years ago now, we kept the name Falcon Manor for the overnight guest suites that we have on the grounds, but the mansion is its original name, which is Falcon Rest Mansion.
Okay.
And after we added the gardens, we made it Falcon Rest Mansion and Gardens.
What inspired you to come to McMinnville in the first place? Because y'all were doing something way before this tour, making the tours and the gardens and such.
Yes.
Well, it's a twofold story, actually. I was looking for, when Bridgestone moved in, I was looking for real estate, investment. And so I came over and I saw a little place, but I didn't particularly care for it. And my parents lived up on the hill here from us, and they're both deceased now. But at the time I went by to see them, and my mother said, "Well, you're in town." I said, "Well, I'm looking for an investment piece of property." And she says, "Well, you know they're going to move the old hospital down there." My dad said, "Don't tell him that. He's liable to go down there and buy it." Well, needless to say, when a father does that, you know what a son does.
Yeah.
He goes down there, so I go down there, and the guy shows me around a little bit. They wanted quite a bit for it, so I said, "Well, I don't know about that." So I went back home, and my wife said, "Where you been?" I said, "Oh, I've been over in McMinnville looking for an investment piece of property."
Yeah.
And our daughter was working to become valedictorian in Lincoln County High School. She actually did.
Yay.
She takes her brains after her mom, but she threw a fit because she thought we were going to move.
Oh no.
And so you know what happens when a daughter throws a fit?
Oh, yes.
The dad says, "I'm going to show you." And so I made a phone call, and they told me what they were going to start the bidding at. And so I decided, well, I need to go up maybe on that day and check it out.
And I
But I
sent the
didn't-
daughter as a chaperone.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, but I didn't make any financial arrangements because I didn't think I'd get it, because I heard a bank was maybe interested in it. And so I just went to show my daughter.
Yeah.
And so we went up there, and there was a lawyer standing up there, and he was giving us all the information, and he said, "Anybody got any questions before the bidding starts?"
Yeah.
I said, "I only got one question. How long do you have to get the money?" He said, "You got 10 days to get the money. If you don't, we'll sue you for everything you're worth." Well,
Really?
that put the fear of God into the whole crowd, you know. And so the bidding started. I bid $50 more. I was ready to leave. And the guy said, "Going once, going twice, sold to this sucker over here." He didn't say sucker,
Yeah.
but it went just like
Yeah.
that. At this point, my daughter was jumping up and down with joy, and I'm thinking, what in the world have I done? I got to get the money. Well,
Yeah.
needless to say, I was able to get the money. So that part is part of the history of the place here. But there's one other story that goes along with it. In my late 30s and early 40s, I was having all kind of health issues.
Right.
I was working for a corporation and in management. And I went to the doctor, but they couldn't find out what was wrong with me or anything like that. And so one day I stopped over, and I visited my parents. You know how mothers are.
Oh, yeah.
She looked at me and she said, "Son, you don't look like you're feeling so good." I said, "I really don't." And my mother says, "Well, you need to go see the old-time doctor over here." Our doctor. Now, my parents weren't great at a lot of things, but they were experts at picking doctors.
Okay.
And so I go see this old-timey doctor here at McMinnville, and he comes in, you know how the old-timey doctors were and are, and he said, "Well, we're going to run some tests on you. You come back on this day." So I said, "Okay." He ran the test. I showed back up. He comes in. He looks at the results of the test. And he asked me a question that no doctor would ever ask today.
What was that?
He said, "Son, tell me what you do." I said, "What?" He said, "Tell me what you do for work." I said, "Well, I work for a corporation. I'm in management." He sits down his pen and paper. He looks over at me and he says, "My legal prescription for you is get a hobby, get it soon. If you don't, you're going to die soon."
Oh, wow.
Within 6 months of me walking out of that doctor's office stunned, I buy this place.
Oh.
Years pass. I'm in my 70s now, late 70s actually. In my early 70s, went to see the doctor. And walked into his office, as annual checkup. And he looks down and he said, "George," he said, "I see you're not on any medicine at all."
Yeah.
I said, "Is that unusual?" He said, "George, you're the only patient I got that's not on any medicine. This is my medicine."
Aww. So it took you guys like 4.5 years to do the restoration. Can you walk me through that process? Like you already said you purchased it.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Well, it had been converted into a hospital in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and it looked like a hospital.
Right.
I mean, the doctor had painted everything hospital green. They'd taken out a lot of the woodwork. They were going to sell it because they couldn't sell an old hospital. So and another couple had worked on it for 5 years, did a lot, but there was a huge amount left to do, and they gave up. And we showed up and we thought, we can't hire people to do this. Nobody puts electric outlets in solid brick walls, that sort of thing. So we decided we'd do it ourselves.
And we did 95% of the restoration of the mansion ourselves.
Wow.
And we're still actively involved. We can't do everything, but we can do
Most
a
of it.
lot. Yeah, sure can.
It's your medicine. I hope you can do a lot.
It's so much easier now because when we started, there was no such thing as the internet.
No, I was going to say, you didn't Google that, did
No
you?
YouTube. Yeah, that would have been
Today
nice.
it's a lot easier than what it was when we were doing it, actually.
Right, yeah. So you did something before. What were you before?
I was working as a writer for the Public Inquiries Department at Marshall Space Flight Center, NASA in Huntsville.
Wow.
So
Smart lady, George.
so that was how I learned to do internet. Because when the internet came along, they said somebody needs to put our documents for public affairs on the internet. And I was standing at the back of the line.
One day,
so I learned to do that.
One day she brought me down
Did
to
you?
to NASA. And she said, I want you to see this new technology the government's got, but nobody else has. And the very first time I saw the internet, she opened it up, and I pointed at the screen, and I simply said, that's the future, and the future is now.
It is.
And no truer words were ever said.
I totally 100% agree. But with that said, do you mind showing us around some places today and tell us a little more history?
Sure. Yes.
That would be great.
So here in Falcon Rest Mansion, can you tell us a little bit about the history?
Well, in 1896, Clay Faulkner, who was the richest man in this region, told his wife Mary if she had moved from downtown McMinnville 2.5 miles out here so he could be closer to his Mountain City woolen mill, which was catty-cornered across the road from the mansion where they made gorilla pants.
Okay.
They were so strong even a gorilla couldn't pull them apart.
Wow, I'd love to
If
see
she
that.
would move from town out here, he would build her the grandest mansion in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And 1 year later, they move into this 10,000 square foot mansion called Falcon Rest.
Okay.
They had 5 children, 4 girls and a boy, and lived here till his death in 1916.
Oh, that's awesome. And like, now this is open to the public. You have different types of group come throughout the year here, correct?
We are open every day, Wednesday through Sunday, and from 9 to 5. And we do tours, individual tours or group tours.
Yeah.
And we do entertainment shows for groups.
Yeah.
And where we give people characters but no lines. And we serve food with it, and they get a tour as well. And then we have a big Victorian gift shop next door.
Oh, nice.
Where you'll find stuff you won't find at Walmart.
Correct.
And
I remember that.
and we have a tea room where people can have lunch here from 11 to 2 each day that we're open. We also do special events.
I was going to say,
here.
we were here as McMillan professionals, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, you all are a great group.
And we also have accommodations on the grounds of the mansion, not in the mansion, but on the grounds of the mansion. In fact, we got people here from New York.
Oh, wow.
As I speak. Here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell me, off air, y'all were talking about the Tennessee Biltmore?
Well, PBS started calling it Tennessee's Biltmore.
Okay.
And the reason why they did is it's not a castle like the Biltmore Estate.
Right.
Just a mansion, only a
It
mansion.
is just a mansion. But it had all the systems the Biltmore Estate had in the late 1800s, like electric lights and pressurized running water, indoor bathroom, had refrigeration, had closets. And all the walls here go all the way down to the bedrock, 17 feet underground.
The inside and outside walls are solid bricks, 3 bricks thick.
Wow.
And they're 3 bricks thick. And
that's crazy.
so it's one of the things that makes this a unique place.
So if anybody would like to book an event with you guys, how can they get in contact with y'all?
Just give us a call or send us an email.
Okay.
Yes.
And you got the number?
I certainly do. The number is 931-668-4444, and the email address is falconrest@falconrest.com. And if they want to know what we do, it's all on the internet.
Gotcha.
falconrest.com.
all right. This evening you're coming to our award-winning hit show called Murder at the Mansion. Someone is going to be guilty. It's based on the 1897 dinner party the Faulkners had the grand opening their home Falcon Rest. What's going to happen is I'm going to look at you, figure out who you were in October of 1897. We're going to give you a little sign, put it around your neck, tell you who you are, what you're on the front side. On the back side, it tells you about your personality, except you don't get any lines. So you can say anything you want to as a character that you are, except one person in the room will get a line, and I guarantee you they're going to know when to say it. Guaranteed. Now, some of you, in addition to being a personality, will be a choir member. You don't tell me I can't sing, because I'm going to say good gift anyway. You're going to put it back behind your personality sign, because on the back side of your personality sign, it tells you who you like, who you hate, who you had finagles with. All that juicy kind of gospel wise really did enjoy listening to that. Everybody does anyway, you know what I'm talking about? Now, some of you, in addition to a personality, are going to be a suffragette. That means women's right to vote. Because in October of 1897, women didn't have a right to vote. They didn't like that idea. So some of you will get a little suffragette sign. You'll put it back behind your personality sign. You'll get a little placard. Guarantee you're going to know when to wave it.
You know, y'all have created so many different milestones as we're walking into Mr. Faulkner's bedroom. One of them is being the first domain with the internet?
As far as I know, falconrest.com was the first domain name that Ben Lomond ever arranged.
Oh, wow.
It was one of the first business ones.
Yeah.
I had been working at NASA in Huntsville. We had access to the internet just as the World Wide Web was getting really started. So when I got home full time in '95, we got a domain name. We built a website from scratch. And I guess in '96, LaVoy Knowles, who had been such a visionary for Ben Lomond and getting internet here that was available locally without a long-distance dial-up call, asked George to come to a meeting for business people and tell them about the internet.
Yeah.
So George came and he was talking about it. He said, by next year, I predict it will be our #1 source of business. Mm-hmm. He came home and told me, and I said, nothing will ever replace word of mouth. Mm-mm. By the next year, internet was our #1 source.
You stuck your foot in your mouth at that point, right?
We still have our internet through Ben Lomond because he was a visionary to get it here so very early.
That's awesome.
And it helped make our business.
So we could probably say y'all are probably the very first business in McMinnville that got your domain.
As far as we know.
Gosh, y'all have so many milestones y'all are breaking. I'm so grateful. Gosh, what would we do without y'all?
Well, we'll just live forever and you won't have to worry about it.
Well, again, a shout out to Ben Lomond Communications for hooking you guys up with that.
Yeah.
Y'all have experienced so many fun outings with groups and all the events y'all have put together with this community and beyond. Can you explain to us some of the, like a good story that why you enjoy doing what you do?
I will tell you, the first time my wife ever saw this place, it had been turned into a hospital at one time, and we were on our honeymoon, and I said, there's this place in my town, in my hometown, that you need to see. And I brought her down here.
This is 1968, just as they were closing the hospital.
Yes, and there is something about this particular property that just draws people, and they just feel, it was aptly named Falcon Rest, because I have people say it's so restful and peaceful here. And I think part of what people like about the place is they like how it's laid out. They also like the colors that are here.
I totally agree.
They love the antiques that are here. And part of it is about, they don't meet people every day who've been directly involved in restoration of things, and are still doing it.
Yeah.
Like this morning, there was a lady here who's staying here on the grounds, and she walks into the gift shop and she said, this place is a hidden gem. I didn't ask her to say it, but my wife will tell you, we hear that quite frequently out here.
Yeah.
And there's just something about the place. I would like to say it's our great personality.
That's part
but
of it.
I'm not sure that's the case.
Well, we
but,
say
Y'all have great
it
personalities.
has a friendly elegance. You know, it's
Yeah.
elegant, but it's
Very
not
welcoming.
stuffy.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
it's very welcoming
Yeah,
here, and
yeah.
for me, being like when we did the tours in school
Yeah.
settings, and then when we did the event as I got older, it's always been welcoming here, and you've
Yeah.
always been I've never seen you upset. Y'all
Yeah.
always have smiles on
well,
your
you know,
faces.
we have put 35 years of our lives in this place. We love it.
Yeah.
If anybody else loves it, we love them too. You know, they've got really good taste.
Exactly. So, what do y'all guys see in the future for this as you continue on?
Well, every day we get up and she'll tell you we go to work.
Yeah.
Whether we're off or whether we're not, we still, there's something.
And we're blessed
great.
that we can.
Yes,
You know.
and we're thankful for that. We hope that it will continue after we're gone. But what happens, I'm not sure. I just feel in my heart of hearts that one day the right person will come along and love it like we love it, and simply say, you know, I want to carry this thing on, and they won't have to go to the bank and borrow the money. They'll have it, and that things will continue, because that's the number one question people have been asking. They've been asking us this for 20 years.
At least,
and we're still
yes.
here. Yeah, we're still here.
You know, but after COVID came along, we told people, you tell us what's going to happen next year, and we'll tell you what's going to happen next year. We'll know when it's time.
Yeah.
And we're not in any hurry.
But the question you're asking, we hear frequently. Let's just say that. We hear frequently. And another one is that I'll be downstairs and we'll have a group and whatever, and I come running up the staircase, and some of these little ladies say, how old are you? Now, I shouldn't be offended, but I'm just thankful of my age.
You look good for your age, I want you to know, sir. But,
He gets cuter every year.
and she gets fine like mine, right?
There you
I tell
go.
people, I put the smile on her face and she puts a gray smile.
What's left of it.
Yeah, one word, yes.
But you know, for everybody, like you said, it's been a hidden gem, and I have to say this for my listeners from the community TV and TVTN folks as well. If you ever want to see this hidden gem and step into the past, like how people used to live, that is what for me the nostalgia. Because for my son and my children, they need to know what history is like, so we don't repeat it in a sense too.
And this is local history.
Right.
So one of the things that I think people enjoy is that it's a beautiful building. We have really great antiques. We don't spend our time talking about antiques.
No.
We talk about the people who live here, because history's about people.
It is.
And we like telling the funny stories about the people, because that's what they relate to.
It's where history is fun.
Yeah.
And that's what we do here. I am probably the last person in the world who should be doing this. My worst grade in high school was in history. I made a D minus.
No way.
Yes, that's true. But my first A in college was in history.
Wow.
And people say, how could that possibly happen? I said, well, in high school they taught history as if it were dead. And when we got to college they taught as if it were alive.
Yeah.
And you see who affected me.
There you go.
And it's sort of like my shows today. I won't tell you the church, but I got thrown out of a church play when I was 9 years old because they said I wasn't any good.
Oh, really?
And so what I finally did is I told them, I said, well, I don't know if a 9-year-old kid's ever been thrown out of a church play. And they said, you're not any good. I said, well, can't you put somebody down there?
Couldn't remember your line.
Yeah, I couldn't remember my lines. And I said, can't you put somebody down the front pew and everything like that? So the night it started, there was not only one lady, there wasn't two ladies, there were three ladies.
Helping you out.
That's right. And I'm thinking to myself, I really must be bad. But anyway, they turned off the light, and I got on stage, and I never will forget my line to my dying day.
Yeah.
You know, I got up on the stage and I said, me shot himself on Jesus Road. And I thought those little little ladies were going to fall out.
Oh, my
Boy, they
God.
couldn't believe I did it.
Because you didn't need them. And
It turns out, yeah.
But again, that's why coming to Falcon Rest Mansion is so much fun, because you guys make the history fun.
It is
And
fun.
It's fun.
It sure is fun.
And with that said, I want to say thank you for having us here today,
delighted to
guys.
have you.
From Warren First 931, and thanks again to Community TV TN and partnering up with me as well. And always remember, Warren County, keep it first.
Particular rooms right there, and I'm interrupted by a phone call. I'm going to put my wife on mute. Yeah, no. She's just going to have to wait here. All right. But anyway, by the way, if you brought a camera, you take photographs anywhere except inside the mansion. And no video inside the mansion as well as during the show as well. She's not going to give up. Okay. Hello, honey. She hung up on me. That's what wives do these days. I get it. Oh, by the way, when you finish touring the mansion, you're going to either go by this sidewalk or the other sidewalk over to that building over there where you'll find stuff in there you won't find at Walmart. We take MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, and cash as always. Are you ready to have fun? Yeah. That's all. Falcon Rest is where history is fun. Follow me. Let's go.
Before we go look at some of these different places, I know you had mentioned the groups and the different things like that. I know that where we're at is just marvelous with the way it looks. The shot that you're looking at now is just a piece of the room. What happens here in this hall?
We do a lot of different things. We do wedding receptions here. We do entertainment shows. We got 3 shows. We do a vaudeville style show. Like this past Friday, I did a vaudeville style show at lunch, and I did a Murder at the Mansion show in the evening. So we had a couple of groups where we do the shows. We also do high school reunions here. We do business luncheons and dinners and things of that sort, and just a little of everything here. You can also do weekend dining by reservation, so you can eat in here as well. So we do a lot of things in this particular building. So.
And the ghosts don't bother you as bad in here, right?
Well, can I take the Fifth Amendment on that?
That's up to you.
Well, no. We say our ghosts are friendly, and we've had numerous people that have been here over a period of years and said whatever is here is friendly. And I tell people, as long as you like me, it'll like you. And if you don't like me, I think I'd say my prayers before I go in that place.
Community Network Productions takes you inside each community with local interest stories, local music artists, and information.
With each show, the focus is the people and our beautiful community. With our creative team, we customize unique show ideas with our friends in the community. Our focus is you.
See each of our shows on all social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and at our website at www.communitytvtn.com.